Chapter 1. The Discipline of Leadership Excellence. Lewis Lapham said, "Leadership consists not in degrees of technique, but in traits of character. It requires moral rather than athletic or intellectual effort, and it imposes on both leader and follower alike the burdens of self-restraint." The great Supreme Court Justice, Oliver Wendell Holmes, once said that there are three types of people. There are people who make things happen, there are people who watch what's happening, and there are people who haven't the slightest idea of what's happening. In this chapter, we're going to talk about leadership in action and about the people who make things happen. Today, as never before, there's a pressing need for leadership in our society. There is a need for leadership in our homes, in our business organizations, in our private and public associations, and in our government. We need leadership more than ever before, and especially we need leadership to take us into the future. We need people who have vision, who have courage, people with the ability to chart new seas and break new ground. We need two types of leaders. The first type of leader that we need is the transformational leader. This is the leader who is the pathfinder, the visionary. This is the leader who motivates, uplifts, inspires, and empowers people to perform at levels far beyond anything we've ever seen before. The second type of leader we need is perhaps the most important or foundational. It's what is called the transactional leader. The transactional leader is the person who gets things done with and through other people. The world has changed. We need leadership badly in our organizations because of the type of people in these organizations. People today are far more difficult and demanding, far more impatient and selfish than they have ever been before. It's no longer enough just to give a person a job and tell them what to do. People want to participate. They want to discuss their jobs. They want regular feedback on their performance. They want to know, what's in it for me? Today, more and more, when people go out to look for a job, especially talented people and members of Generation Y and X, instead of them approaching their job search politely and obsequiously, their attitude is, "Why should I work for you?" One of the major reasons that people go to work for any organization is because of the leadership. There are two excellent definitions of leadership that I like, especially with regard to business organizations. The first one is, leadership is the ability to elicit extraordinary performance from ordinary people. Another definition that I like is, leadership is the ability to get followers. Today we find that the only kind of leadership that is lasting is not leadership that comes from position or from money or authority. It is what we call ascribed leadership. This occurs when people decide for themselves that they are going to follow the direction, the guidance, and the vision of someone else. In other words, it is a voluntary form of following that marks our best leaders today. Leaders are made, not born. Nobody comes into the world as a natural leader. You become a leader by, first of all, deciding to become a leader, and second of all, by learning the skills you need to elicit extraordinary performance from ordinary people. There seems to be a scale of personalities from the very bottom, with people who haven't the slightest idea what is going on, and who couldn't care less, to the very top, the 1 or 2% of people in our society who really are the spark plugs in the engines of change. Every one of us is on that scale somewhere, moving up or down, depending upon the things that we are doing and saying on a daily basis. You are what you think you are. Your self-concept determines your performance. You can become a much more effective leader by changing your self-concept, by changing the way you think about yourself as a leader. Select leaders to emulate. The starting point of becoming a better leader is for you to begin thinking about the leaders you know, who you admire, and then begin to think about how you could emulate their behaviors. Think about how you could be more like them. In no time at all, you will